Shalom, Shalom, Kahala Yahweh Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahushai, Bahashem Harak HaKodesh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatham, to all the Akim out there teaching this word truth in all sincerity, teaching the downfall of Esau, this wicked queendom, the 2/3 and the heathens. Today I just want to go over a little something that I heard Ariah Malek say. He said something in the lines of, everything that's going on, like, everybody always has to put black in front of everything, especially when talking about Hebrew Israelites or, but they don't ever put like red in front of like the Hebrew Edomites or anything like that. But, yeah, one of the things that I was sitting here looking at, and I've always told people because I've done martial arts for, basically my whole life. I started when I was about 2 years old, and I'm 35 now. So, I've always told people that in order to be a samurai, you had to have black in your DNA. It's a requirement, and I'm pretty sure that they did it off the father side too. And right here, somebody had posted this on YouTube, and it says, self-hate before the Japanese became whitewashed and wanted to look European with round eyes. Real samurais had dark skin and were of African blood. In order to have honor, you had to be of African blood to be a samurai. Self-hate arrives everywhere the Europeans go, and this goes back to the Bible. This definitely goes back to the Bible because, they talk about Yaski or Slaki. Yasaki, I messed up his name. Yasuke. Even he has the word Ya in his first name. Yasuki. They say he's the first black samurai. No, that's not true. Every one of those kids, every one of that bloodline of that nation they were all black. They came from Lot. And I could pull that up in the scriptures right here. All right. It says Genesis 19:30 through 38. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountains, and his 2 daughters with him. For he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in the cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said, this is 31, and the firstborn said unto the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come into us, to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. 32, come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. So I'm going to interrupt real quick. That's, the women back then compared to the women now knew how important it was to have that righteous seed. They wanted to be pregnant. They knew how good it was to be pregnant. How righteous it was to be pregnant. Not like the women nowadays. Not that I'm saying what these 2 daughters did was right or nothing like that. It was completely wrong. But nowadays, these women get pregnant, they get busted up, they kill the baby, they don't want to have the pregnancy pain, so they get the epidural. They go against everything that Yahweh Shimei Shai has set apart for them as their punishment, So, I'm going to get back onto this. Slaki. All right, and then 33. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. 34. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, behold, I lay yesterday with my father, let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed for our father, of our father. 35. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus the daughter of Lot went into Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father, which is a complete sin. But this was not on Lot, this was on the daughters, because the daughters, this is why the Most High says that he deprived women from having, wisdom and knowledge, because if they had knowledge, they would have realized, of course, the Most High would have spared some men for them if he already created the law that says do not lie with your daughter. So of course he would have spared someone. Okay. But they're thinking that the whole world is destroyed. So he deprived them for having understanding, Salakia. They think that the whole world was destroyed, but they have they don't have understanding that the Most High has more plans than what they can see. Okay, so 37. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moabite, or Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she bare a son, and called him by his name Benai. Benani, the same in this Salakia. The same is the father of the children of Ammon until this day. So when they say that, when they say some bullshit like, that all Japanese were lights, or, that we didn't create the martial arts, they lying. Straight up, everything would be a lie, because you just read right there, the creator of the Chinese and the Japanese came from Lot. Came out to see the Lot. And they only look like that because when you sleep with your own blood, they get, you get different syndromes. You get Down syndrome, you get different, your faces start looking a little bit different, So they like to say, it's because of the weather, the mountains, and everything else. But there's been a lot of us. We got Israelites that live in Japan, and they children's eyes ain't changing. So, they say it takes thousands upon thousands a year. Nah, that shit ain't true. Now, I mean, there are some cases of things, like in Arizona, you have a squirrel that's from the same family. One's on one side of the canyon, one's on the other. Exact same squirrel. One ended up getting a stripe down his back or something, or changed up a little bit because of survival things, whatever. But that's with animals. Animals may change up a little bit. I mean, we all change up to adapt to our environment, but we can create glasses and wear hats and stuff. So your body ain't gonna necessarily, change your eyes and everything like that. So, all right, but when they say that the martial arts came from some monks and things, yeah, okay, it came from monks, but guaranteed they was black. Everything on this earth was dark skin. Came from Eden, came from Adam, So I got this verse right here, because Lot came from Abraham, or Lot was Abraham's nephew, I believe. So right here it says that Jeremiah 10:16, that the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is his rod and his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. So Jacob is the former of all things. So martial arts came from who? Jacob. So Lot's kids, those are actually, they come from Jacob still. Because Lot came from, Slakia, maybe I'm messing it up. That's not. Yeah. Abraham, I believe Lot was Abraham. I believe it was his nephew or something. I know that they're a family. They're family. So, Jacob is the former of all things. So, if Jacob was dark skinned, then Lot was dark skinned. So all of them were dark skinned. So Slack, I might have messed that part up of what I was saying. But I'm saying Jacob's the former all things, right? Cool. We know that. So Jacob was dark skinned. So Lot had to be dark skinned. So Abraham was dark skinned. Lot had to be dark skinned. You know, so his daughters was dark skinned. So the sons, the sons should have came out dark skinned. So they would have looked like this. They would have been dark skinned, looking like Yasuki. You know what I mean? They would have looked like this. So I just want to go over that, you know, because I'm in the, you know, I really love the martial arts, but you know, the Most High took that spirit out of me of training and everything because he, you know, he told me in like 2010, you know, in the dream that I would never be part of a gym again, but that it didn't start right away, you know, like over the years I just, you know, left the love of the gym. I still love martial arts, but you know, he has me on this pilgriming. He has me on a mission. You know, everything he didn't show me in this dream has happened. The only thing that we waiting on from what I remember in the dream, which I remember the whole dream, is the fire. That's all we waiting on is fire. We waiting on fire to come from the skies and these chariots to come back. And I had this dream before I even knew what an Israelite was, before I even knew what chariots were. And I didn't even know that the angels was black then. I still thought Jesus was a Cesare Buongiorno face. And you know, I was talking to these black sparkly things. I thought they was aliens. And they was telling me what I was supposed to be doing, what I'm gonna do, you know. So and everything that they said has happened. Everything. Even the people I had in my dream that I don't even know if I had met them yet. All that stuff I met, like man, what they showed me is not. There's no game. When I'm talking about people's faces about to be melting and all kinds of stuff, man, people about to be jacked up, man. You gonna have like hot rocks falling out the sky, just stuff just burning up. Everything was on fire. When my dream, Utah was straight burnt down. Like there was no way to get from Vegas to Utah. Like you could not drive through. Utah was on fire. Everything was on fire. When I say everything was on fire, everything was on fire. Like all over this country was on fire. And there was people here. So, you know, in the dream, the people was running into the chariots. You know what I mean? They told me I couldn't go. Not that I was in trouble. You know, they told me I had to stay here. They told me I had to find 5 people just like myself. And then they told me I'm gonna have to go around and help save people. So spitting out this word is helping save people, you know? Giving this truth out is helping save people. You know, because people waking up and starting to see like, oh shoot, I can't do that. I was going down a path of death. I already met I already found the 5 people. You know, I found out, you know, I looked for my brothers and sisters, my father, my whole life. And like, I want to say like a year and a half ago, somewhere around there, you know, like out of nowhere, I get a hit up online from a hospital talking about, yo, I think this is your sister, and find out I got all these brothers and sisters. And the only way they could be just like me is they had to come from my father's seat. And they came from my father's seat. So I didn't even know about them. So when I tell you everything, when I tell you when this stuff's about to go down, that this world is about to be on fire, and I feel like this mug's about to be soon. And we got all these rumors of wars and all this stuff, and Putin ain't playing. Man, it's gonna go down, man. It's gonna go down. Like my father ain't ever lied to me about no dreams, no visions, nothing. Like when he tell me to do something, if I don't do it, he fuck me up. If I do it, then you know he bless me. You know what I mean? But I'm letting y'all know. Get ready. Remember Jacob, the former all things. I know this kind of got off, you know, a little bit, but Jacob is the former all things. So he the former all things, and we got this covenant, you know, and there ain't gonna be no escaping. There ain't gonna be no escaping, you know. You can't get out the hands of Yahweh Shemi Ashai. So, you know, pray without cease. Even if you ain't on your hands and knees, you know, just talk. You know, talk to the Father. It ain't hard to just talk, because even when you say something, that's a prayer. Because even when you say stuff in English, you know, like the English language is witchcraft anyway. So you be either putting curses on stuff if you don't know what the words mean. You know, you putting curses on people, or you know, doing stuff. Just talk. You know what I mean? He listening. The Father's listening. You know, say, Father, yo, call him. Yo, I'm calling my Father. Abba. You know, I'm asking him straight up. Can you give me my spiritual powers? You know, I talk to him straight up like that. You know, who give a damn what everybody else think about you? Who give a damn if, people think you crazy, whatever, they see you talking to yourself. You should be talking to yourself. Because if he lives inside you in your temple, you ain't going to lie to yourself. First of all, you can't lie to yourself. And even if you do lie to yourself, you ain't lying because you creating it. So if you tell yourself you ugly, you going to be ugly. If you tell yourself you could do it, then you could do it. And a matter of fact, what I was actually going to do for this video was the topic when I first started, before I started downloading all these pictures, was that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai got more faith in us than we have in ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, you got to think, like, if he had Job go through, that's what I was going to talk about, Salaki. If he had Job go through and, had, Satan, Shaitan, you know, test Job and do everything, and he had faith in Job, that Job, even though he knew what was going to happen, he had faith in him. Like, you got to think, he got faith in us. You got to have faith in yourself. You know what I mean? So, it's like he has faith in us. You know what I mean? So, if he got faith in us, then you should have faith in yourself and have faith in him. Because having faith in yourself is having faith in him. Like, you got to have faith in yourself. Like, you know what? I ain't going to make the mistakes today. You know what? No more Pornhub. Or, you know what? Whatever your issue is, I don't know what you're doing. No more cigarettes. No more energy drinks. Whatever it is that you having an issue with, he got faith in you that you can quit it. Otherwise, if he didn't have faith in you, he'd already took your life. If he didn't have faith in you, you wouldn't be here. So you gotta have some faith in yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta start believing in yourself. You gotta start believing, and not even just believing. You gotta just past believing. You gotta just realize it says ye are gods. If you don't believe that you a god, then you ain't ever gonna be a god. You gotta fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? It's like training. Like you get the super soldiers, the ones that are gonna, like in military, you get a super soldier, is the ones that's gonna try harder than everybody else. That's gonna try to kill himself to be the best. You gotta try to kill yourself to be the best, but in this word, spiritually. You know what I mean? You want the spiritual power, he's gonna raise it up. He already breathes his life into you. So that means that the spiritual powers is already here. We the form of all things. Don't you realize that you create who creates everything? Every time you look up something, an invention, it's an Israelite man. It's always an Israelite man. The creation, man. Like, think about it. I mean, wickedness, comes from the other ones, but it's, you know what I mean? There's wickedness that we create too, but it's like, you create. It's whatever you believe is you in that world. You know what I mean? You create that world. You create a world in yourself, around yourself too. Just like right now, like the Most High already wrote it out, but we creating that issue with Esau right now. Like Esau, because his word is getting out. Who's creating that? The gods are, the prophets. We creating that issue. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai said it. He set it up. And now it's creating the issue because we doing what he said. We believing in what the word says. So if you believing in what the word says, and the word says we're going to get our spiritual powers, and then he says that you only need a mustard seed of faith to move mountains, you got to just have faith that you are God. That you gotta be like, man, when people talk to you, you gotta be like, man, you gotta act like a God. Like, you gotta feel like you above everything. Because he said you above everything. He said all these other nations ain't nothing, they spittle. So if you don't act like it, then you ain't gonna be like it. You know what I mean? You remember when your mom used to be like, do you want your ass whooped? And you be like, no. Then she'd be like, you better act like you got some respect, or you better act like you know how to act. You know what I mean? So you better act like you know how to be a God. You better start believing it, acting it, start standing like it. Because one day you gonna wake up and your ass gonna be floating. One day you gonna go outside and you ain't gonna be able to touch the ground. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, damn, what's going on? You just gotta believe that you're a God. Like, if he says you're gods, you gods. Why has he ever lied to us? It says that he can't lie, right? Yahweh Shem Yashai can't lie, right? Don't forget, ask and you shall receive. Searching you shall find, knocking it shall be open. So we knocking. We knocking. That's all we doing is waiting on the spiritual power. We knocking. Knocking on the door like, hey, spiritual powers, I'm here. You know? We knocking. We knocking. I like this picture. You gotta, like in martial arts and like any other sport, like anything, you could be the best fighter in the gym, but when you get into the ring, if you believe that other dude's better than you, that dude gonna be better than you. He gonna whoop your ass. Me, I had to put in my mind when I got in the ring that I worked out so hard that this dude, I'm gonna wear his ass out. That's why I had to get into that mentality. And you can't be hanging around little people that don't got that same mentality as you, because they gonna try to bring you down. You can't. That's why the Most High creates separation. Like if you alone, it's because he's trying to deal with you one-on-one. Like I said before in another video, when your coach pull you to the side because he want to train you by itself. You know, Yahweh Shimon Shai is the best coach. He the best coach. You think he gonna, he's setting you to the side to wake you up to teach you. He the best coach. If he says ye are gods, and he did all this stuff for our forefathers, he had Samson doing stuff. He had, he had David, and he had David calling down lightning and fire and stuff. If he did that for them, what's he gonna do for us? What is he gonna do for us? You gotta have that faith. Woo! You gotta have that faith, man. That's why you gotta start. If you gotta start saying to yourself that you're a God, you gotta start believing that you're a God. You gotta start believing that you're a king. If you don't start believing it, then these women ain't gonna start believing it. They gonna talk shit. But when they see that you really walking in that step, them bitches gonna get in line. They gonna sit down because they respect power, right? Well, who got the best power? Gods. When you a God, you realize like when you start changing the molecular of your brain, of your mind, and your body, and you start realizing that I'm a God. And you start getting up. You gotta start doing what gods do. You gotta start practicing trying to boil the water with your hand. He said, "Practice the righteous things. Spiritual power is righteous." He says, "Practice them." So you gotta practice. Because when you practice, that's putting that foot forward, showing that you got faith and yet you believe in how about Shimmy outside. Because when you practice it, he gonna see, all right, he's trying to practice, he's trying to get that power back. All right, he practiced it. You know what? Give him a little bit. You know what? Give him a little bit more. He got faith. Give him a little bit more faith, because that faith is gonna move mountains. Remember, and he gonna keep putting it on you. There's that verse. Here's Salakia. Malek Ariyah said in his video, he goes, a lot of you ox I'm be crying like, man, I wish I had the talent to make garments, or the talent to make videos and stuff. And Malek Ariyah said the truth. He goes, he gave you this little bit of talent. You don't even want to use that. You don't want to repost videos. You don't want to do nothing. That's showing you ain't got faith. So if you ain't even trying to do spiritual powers, why should he even give you nothing? That's showing that you got faith. Like when my coach tell me, I ask him, hey, how do I punch harder? Because I used to just beat people up with ones and twos. I didn't have a left hook. He told me how to do it. He's like, do this, work this. And you know what I did? I sit there and did that all day. Did it all day. And it showed to him that I got faith. And eventually in my mind, even if my hook really didn't get better, it got better in my mind. So it got more vicious. Because I believed that it got better. Because I was practicing it. Because you know what I mean? Practice is going to make perfect. You know what I mean? You think, you just gotta have to have faith. You're gonna have to ask to the Most High for these powers and things. You just gonna have to believe that you're a God. If you still in this mindset that you believe you're a human, then you ain't gonna achieve it. It says ye are gods. Look at that movie Glass. What did they do in that movie Glass? Right when I seen it, I knew that the bitch was a bad guy. The lady that was trying to be the therapist, trying to tell them that they was normal people, and they had in their mind that they had superpowers. And she was saying, nah, something's wrong because you had an accident, you hit your head, but these people was really doing amazing feats. You know what I mean? doing amazing things. But she was like, nah, I specialize in this with people that believe that they got superpowers and whatever. And throughout the whole movie, she tried to make them think that they wasn't who they thought they was. And that's exactly what Esau done to us. He made us think that we black. He made us think that we was running around in the jungles being African. But the Bible says we is gods. So if we gods, we gods. I'm a god, man. You got to start believing that you a god. You got to start believing this, because in that movie, after they started destroying them, and they had their weaknesses, like our weakness is pork. We shouldn't be eating that stuff, right? So she, at the end, when everybody was getting messed up and dying, she had separated them all, and she used one woman against the dude that was like really super strong to make him weak, just like Esau used woman against us to make us weak. And then they could shoot him. Then the SWAT guy was able to shoot him with a bullet, because before, when this dude was in that mode, the bullets couldn't go through him. And she had convinced them so well that they thought that they was normal, that maybe they was tripping, that at the end, that the one dude's dying because he had the girl, then the other dude's getting drowned in the water, and she goes, "Did I grab my hand? Grab my hand," because his weakness was water. He's like, "Grab my hand, grab my hand," and she goes, "Did I convince you? Did I really make you think that you was a normal man? Did I make you believe that you were actually normal?" You know what I mean? That's what has happened to us. That's what Esau did to us. He made us think that we just were normal people. We gods. And they didn't let us know that we royal. That we are the ones that run the whole earth. When you start believing that this is yours, then you're going to start creating. You're going to start pulling up that standard. He's going to lift the standard, because they going to come in like a flood. They already starting to come in. They watching us. They got agents all up on us. And then, the last part of the movie, she went and told the one dude, she goes and tells the one dude that was creating everything, who had the mastermind that was really smart. She was like, "You was right about your theory." She goes, "There just can't be gods among us." She goes, "It's not fair." Right? It's not fair. So who would be mad like that? And it was Esau. And you know what's funny? The dude was, what's the guy's name? Samuel Jackson. So he a Jake, right? And it was her telling him this. Telling her she was right. And then he was telling, Samuel Jackson told his mom, he was like, because he was glass. He made out of glass, so he breaks easy. He goes, "Mama, I'm not a mistake. We all think we mistakes, that we ain't nothing, that we niggas and all this bullshit. That ain't what we is. That is not who we are. We are God." And when you start realizing that you're a God, and you start thinking that you're a God, because these women going to try to put you down, then you going to be a God. When you start using this mind and creating in your mind that you unstoppable, then that's what you're going to be. Because when she found out that the dude, that Samuel L. Jackson, ended up getting everything recorded and put out on the internet, the lady started screaming. She goes, "What have you done, Elijah?" Which to me, that was spiritual as shit, because Elijah, he was a prophet, you know what I mean? Elijah was good in the Bible, you know what I mean? And that was his name in the movie. His name was Elijah. So, and I mean, Elijah could go back to, you know what I mean? Even some people will call that Yahweh. So, but I mean, some people actually call Elijah Yahweh. That's my brother and them in their church. They say, they call him Jesus, but Yahweh. But he was saying, he said, in the little video that everybody was catching on YouTube, which is getting around just like the Israelite movement, just like the Hebrew movement, which it ain't a movement. It's giving out the information of the Bible. You know what I mean? It was being passed around on YouTube like crazy, like wildfire on the net, just like that. And he was saying that we have the ability to be able to go ahead and let our superpowers out, but there are people trying to stop that from happening. You know what I mean? There's groups of people, which there are groups of people. You got gang stalkers, you got FBI agents, you got fucking, what are them people called? Those Illuminati people, all that. You think they ain't trying to stop us? They've been watching us. Trust me, they've been knowing who was awake and who was not awake since we was little. Why you think you in school, they got you taking those weird old brain tests? When I took the test, they would always be like, You think with both sides of your brain. You think with both sides of your brain. Every time they would always be the same. And then like iPhone came out, and my friends would be like, "How do you always get the golden brain? We're always left side or right side." I'd be like, "I don't know. You know, I just take the test like y'all take it." And they're like, "You always get golden brain." We ain't the same people as everybody else, man. We ain't. We gods. And when you start believing that you a God, and you start believing that you can move things, then your mind's gonna allow you to. You know, because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yashai, they can't lie. So if he says he's going to give you that power and you got faith, you're going to be able to do it. You know, you're going to be able to do it. You know, start practicing. Start trying to boil water, you know, with your mind. Start trying to move a pencil. Start trying to move the wind. You know, who knows what you're doing? You just be staring at stuff, trying to move it with your mind. That's all you got to do. Try to fly. Try it. You know, practice your spiritual powers. He says practice the righteous things. Being a God is righteous. People take this word God and they just like, oh, just means that we, you know, we above. God means to be judges, you know what I mean? So we had to judge righteous too, you know? The ultimate God, you know what I mean, is our Father. So in order to be judges, you got to be over everything. In order to be a God, you got to be at the top. You know, get that God mode, you know? But then they'll tell you, oh, that's a weird way of thinking. He has a God mindset. Nah, we kingdom set, we kingdom minded, you know what I mean? We got our eyes on the kingdom, but we know who we are. And that's when you start realizing, you know, you meant to be separate. Yahweh Shem Yeshai separated you for a reason. If you think that you lonely and sad, that's what they try to do, is get your spirit down. That's why these demons try to, you know, you might be walking through a store and you might get attacked by people talking mess or just, you know, weird stuff, you know. But you know what? Blow it off. Because you got to realize, when you realize you're a God, people going to realize you're a God. They're going to start getting scared. People get scared and they start backing up when you walking in. You know, people scared. People get scared because they see that power that's inside of you. Power that you know what? People see the power that's inside of you that you can't even see in yourself. It's just like I was saying, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yashai got more faith in us than we got in ourselves. He wouldn't have created you if you wasn't no God. A God can only create another God. Like a dog can only make another dog. A pit bull can only make another pit bull. You from the seed. He created Adam. He says, ye are gods. You know what I mean? An orange tree can only produce other oranges. Now you get this mixed up stuff that, you know, you get this GMO stuff. Like these people out here that's GMO, you know, mixing whatever, trying to claim this or that, saying they this or that, but they ain't. But you gods. Remember that. That's why whenever we go do anything, we the best at it. You know? DJ Khaled, you think that these Illuminati people don't tell you the truth? They tell you the truth and everything. Why you think DJ Khaled be telling you? Even Drake said, and I tell people this too, like when he goes, I pray for it and then I go get it. You got to pray for it and then practice it. If you ask for something, he going to give it. You just got to practice. You know what I mean? It's like, this is what, it's like, you got these Israelites with great skills. They be like, Mom, I need these new Jordans. I need the Jordans so I can play basketball. The mom wastes all her money getting this nigga some Jordans. Give him some Jordans and he just go sit his ass down. Don't even go play basketball. He gotta practice. You know what I mean? You gotta practice. You know, that's why you gotta practice. You gotta practice. That you have to practice. You have to. You have to work. It says faith without work is dead. So that means even if you got the faith, but you ain't practicing, then you ain't doing nothing with it. It's dead. You got to do it. You got to practice it. You got to practice being a God. You got to practice having spiritual power. You got to practice these words. You think the first video I ever done, and even the video I'm doing now, is horrible. It's like the first time I got in an amateur fight. Do you think I was the best? I got tired. Then I realized, oh, I have to do this. I have to run so much more. I got to do this. If I want to win and look good, I got to do this. I got to do more push-ups. Or maybe I'm like, I got to stop lifting so much weight because I don't need the weight. You know, it's a lot of punching and kicking. Maybe I need to do more cardio, you know? And then and instead of being like, right now, instead of being like, oh, maybe I need to stop working out so much and work out spiritually. You want spiritual powers? then you need to work out spiritually. You want physical power, then you need to work out physically. But you need both hand in hand, you know what I mean? It really don't matter how you look to get the spiritual power, is what I'm saying, but you gotta practice. You gotta practice. What's that verse that Ari always says? He says, has there ever been something, has anyone ever called on Yahweh by Shem Yashai's name in the old days, and then he left them hanging or something like that? I'm messing the verse up like it, but he hasn't. So if you calling and asking him, and you trying to do this work, and he says, asking you shall receive, you gotta have faith that he gonna give it. You know, these rappers can't, they don't even lie to you. The Illuminati, Drake said he prayed for it at his grandmother's grave, and then he went and did it. Freaking DJ Khaled always tell you the best. Who you think he talking to? You smart. Who you think he talking to? See, these people got these other niggas thinking that they the best, they smart to go do wicked stuff. But you gotta remember, there's a left and right hand side to everything. They saying that thinking that they getting people to do wicked stuff. But when you start realizing it, you be like, I am the best. I am smart. You know, whatever else he says. When you start realizing that, and you saying that to yourself, and you giving praise to the Most High, and you saying thank you, you know, you got to realize it, you know. Not saying you put yourself above him, but he says to worship no other God before him. So if you out here trying to be like, oh, I need, like, you worshiping the shoes or everything else, you putting another God in front of yourself. If he inside you and you over here like trying to be like somebody else, instead of trying to be like the Father, trying to be like Yahweh, instead of trying to be like him, you put another God in front of you. Straight you are. You put another God, you worshiping another God in front of him. Because if he lives in you, he breathed that life in you, and you over here trying to be like everybody else, you doing idolatry. You worshiping some other God, somebody else. You know, you worshiping somebody else. You making something else into a God. You worshiping these women, you worshiping, you putting something in front of yourself, in front of your Father. He said do everything decent and in order. You got to be going upstairs, not down. You know, you supposed to be praying up to Yahweh by Shem Yahshai. You ain't supposed to be praying down to no woman. You ain't supposed to be praying down to no heathen, to no 2/3. The mysteries of this Bible is for us. It ain't for everybody else. They don't understand these parables. They can't even understand when I'm talking. Some of y'all can't even understand when I'm talking. Some of y'all can't even understand this, the spiritual things. Some of y'all gotta wake up on that faith. You know, you gotta have that spirituality. He said the unnatural man doesn't get the spiritual signs. Cause he says he calls them foolish. But they ain't foolish. You know what I mean? You see in the number 333-555, you got to realize, how about Shem Yashai? There ain't no task too short for him. Just right there, it said 14%. You know what I mean? That 1 becoming 4, that's a 44 right there. These are spiritual signs. These are things that you got to take a hold of that people will be like, nah, that ain't nothing spiritual. You know, they'll say that that's foolish. Nah, that's messing with your faith now. You see how that works? People want to give you advice. Think about what these words mean. They want to add advice to you. Like, nah, I don't need your advice. I'm going to do what the book says. I don't care about how you feel. Everybody else's feelings going to try to destroy you. Nah, fuck that. You need to get down with your how about Shem Yahshai. You need to get off your weakness, your kryptonite, sitting around being lazy. Get your ass up and practice. Because the only thing different between a person that is crazy and isn't crazy is the person that is crazy doesn't know that the stuff that they said is crazy. And the person that isn't crazy says that he knows that the stuff he's saying and doing looks crazy. So that's the difference. And even Einstein said it's only crazy until it happens. Einstein said the same thing. It's only crazy. It says a smart motherfucker, he says something like a smart motherfucker looks dumb to, I don't think that's what Einstein says, but there's a meme. It says a smart motherfucker looks dumb to stupid motherfuckers. You know what I mean? He looks dumb to the stupid. So, of course, we're going to look dumb in a moment. You know? Of course, we might look dumb practicing. They like, what you doing? Don't worry about it. It ain't for you. Practice. You know, it's like the first time you ever throw a punch in the gym. Your shit look whack as fuck. You think you hitting hard, but you worried about the power instead of the technique. We need to be worrying about the technique to get the spirituality. And this technique is what the Bible says. Yahweh Hashem Yashai gave it to us. He got mysteries in this Bible that only we can understand. Everybody else ain't going to get it. Everybody else is not going to get it. It's not. So with that said, I just want to say, Call Halal Yahweh B'Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai B'Hashem Harak HaKodesh B'Rakatah Yahweh B'Rakatah Yahushai B'Rakatam. As a matter of fact, you know, you ever been in a situation where you like, now, we still got angels and our brothers watching over us, you know, keeping us from harm's way and stuff. But you've been in a situation where you be like, man, with a girl, you be like, man, I'm going to hit that. And you know you going to hit it, and you hit it. Or you be like, man, I'm going to hit this dude like this, and I'm going to knock him out cold. And you punch him, and he out cold. You creating that in your mind. So if you can do that, what else is it that you can do? There ain't no such thing as can't. What else is it that you can do? When you start thinking like that, it's like, what can I do? When you say can't, you putting a lid on Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. There's no such thing as can't. He can do. He's the creator of everything. Remember, the 144,000 created this place. Created these women. We created everything. Remember. Who you think, man? Why you think these samurais' clothes so fresh? Who you think they got it from? All right. Shalom, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. B'Rakatah Yahweh, B'Rakatah Yahushai, B'Rakatah.